Listen to one truth that might sting a little. You earn just enough to survive, but not enough to live peacefully. Every month feels like walking on a thin rope. One unexpected expense, and everything starts shaking. Your salary arrives, and before you even realize it, it's gone. And somewhere deep inside, you've started believing that if you just earned a little more money, everything would finally be okay. The stress would disappear. Life would become stable. But that's where the biggest lie is hiding. You were always taught, work hard, stay on the right path, and everything will come to you. But nobody told you that the entire system is designed to push you into spending more than you earn. Ads everywhere. Constant reminders that you deserve this. Easy loans. Attractive offers. None of it is accidental. It's a carefully designed trap. And you've been part of this game since childhood without ever questioning it. Let me tell you a small story. There was a man named Ravi. He had a simple job. Every month was the same story. Salary comes in, salary disappears. Phone installments, house expenses, family functions, something always took the money away. He believed that if his income increased, everything would be fixed. Then one day, he noticed something strange. One of his friends earned less than him, but always seemed calm and peaceful. Ravi started observing him. He realized the difference wasn't money. It was habits. He began writing down his expenses, cutting unnecessary spending, and saving small amounts regularly. Slowly, his fears started disappearing. His income stayed the same, but his mindset changed. And that became his real victory. The truth is, people don't get destroyed because they lack opportunities. They get destroyed because they never understand what real power is. Money is not power. Control is power. And that's the bitter truth most people never hear. You don't feel stuck because your income is low. You feel stuck because you don't have a clear plan. Put your hand on your heart and answer honestly. Have you ever truly looked at your financial habits? I didn't learn these lessons from books. I learned them the hard way. There was a time when I believed that the next salary raise would solve everything. I thought more money meant more freedom. But even after earning more, nothing changed. Same stress, same problems, because my habits stayed the same. Things only began changing when I stopped blaming my income and started understanding my behavior. That's when I realized this isn't just a mindset, it's a way of living. And if this truth makes you uncomfortable, that's actually a good thing. Because real change always begins when illusions break. History proves this again and again. There was once a man named John D. Rockefeller. In the beginning, he wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. He was just an ordinary bookkeeper. But from his very first earnings, he followed one rule. He always paid himself first, no matter how difficult life became, no matter how strange or risky the decision seemed. He understood something most people never realize. Your future deserves the first share of your income. That habit didn't make him rich overnight, but it gave him something powerful very quickly. Control. And remember this, control always comes before power. Most people do the opposite. They pay rent first, then bills, then spend on things they barely even use. A little comfort, a little convenience, a little temporary happiness. And if something is left over, they think, maybe I'll save it. That's not a strategy. That's surrender. That's not controlling life. That's drifting wherever life pushes you. And people who only react to circumstances rarely change their destiny. Luck favors those who prepare in advance, not those who simply keep hoping. Now, think about this differently. Treat paying yourself like a debt you owe yourself. Imagine owing money to your landlord. If you delayed it, there would be pressure, consequences, urgency. But when it comes to your own future, you treat it like an optional thing. If possible, I'll save. If not, it's okay. That is the biggest mistake. Your future self is the biggest rightful owner of your income. If you ignore it long enough, it will eventually collect its price in ways far more painful than any late fee. Now people say, I don't earn enough to save. But the truth is, that's not reality. It's an excuse. Because the real issue isn't the amount. It's the habit. Whether you earn 20,000 Indian rupees or even less, before bills, before food, before anything else, put aside a small amount. 500 Indian rupees. 1,000 Indian rupees. Anything. Will your life change overnight? No, but that's not the point. The real purpose is that you're training your mind. You're teaching yourself that building wealth is not optional. It's necessary, especially when life is not perfect. In fact, it matters because life is not perfect. That is where real wealth begins. Not through luck, not through one big opportunity, but through small habits that seem meaningless at first, yet slowly change everything. There was a boy named Aman who delivered newspapers early every morning, even in the cold. He didn't earn much, but he built one habit, saving a small amount every single day. His friends laughed at him. What difference will that make? But he understood something important. He wasn't just saving money. He was building himself. Years later, that habit became his strength. Remember this. When you pay yourself first, you're not just saving money. You are telling yourself that your future matters more than today's temporary comfort. That is real self-respect. That is the signal you send to yourself that you refuse to take your future lightly. Most people never make this shift. They keep saying, one day I'll start saving. One day I'll invest. One day I'll become disciplined. But life never changes for one-day people. Power always goes to those who take action even with limited resources, especially during difficult times. Because character is built when you make the right decisions under pressure. And character is what allows wealth to stay with you. Here's something interesting. The moment you begin paying yourself first, your mindset slowly changes. You stop seeing money as something that simply comes and goes. You begin seeing it as something you can control. And that tiny shift eventually creates a massive difference. It separates those who move forward from those who remain stuck forever. Now you're no longer waiting for life to improve. You are building a system that pushes you forward regardless of circumstances. Now pause for a moment. Don't think about how much you earn. Think about how you treat your money. Do you ignore it? Are you careless with it? Or have you finally started taking control? Because that awareness is the real first step. But in reality, they have a clarity problem. Now look at real life. It's Thursday night. You're exhausted. Long day. You tell yourself, I'll cook tomorrow. Let me order something today. You open your phone. A simple meal, 300 Indian rupees for food, 80 Indian rupees service fee, 60 Indian rupees delivery, 40 Indian rupees tip. Suddenly, nearly 500 Indian rupees is gone. Friday comes. Same thing. Sunday, maybe even worse. Add a cold drink. Maybe dessert too. And none of it feels dangerous in the moment. It feels automatic, like breathing. Then the month ends. You check your expenses, 8,000 Indian rupees, 10,000 Indian rupees, maybe even more, just on food delivery. And you can't believe it. You thought it was only around 2,000 Indian rupees. That gap between what you think you spend and what you actually spend, that is where your wealth quietly disappears. And it's not just food. 200 Indian rupees coffee and used subscriptions. Tiny purchases that feel harmless in the moment, but together become 2,000 Indian rupees or 3,000 Indian rupees every month. Nothing feels dangerous individually. And that's exactly how the trap works. Power is never stolen in one giant moment. It is stolen through hundreds of tiny, invisible decisions.